Hi everyone out there, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. So a long time ago I made a video on some tips for improving your sleep, and I wanted to revisit this topic today and share with you some of my favorite bedtime habits and other ways that we can get a better night's sleep. You know, it seems like we are just unconscious for a bunch of hours, but actually there's so many things that happen when we are sleeping in our body. Our cells and our tissues have a chance to regenerate, our memory and our cognitive function is, boosted for the next day. So let's get started with some really wonderful bedtime habits and a bunch of different ways that we can make sure that we sleep really well through the night. So first things first, the best thing that we can do to ensure that we fall asleep a lot easier and wake up easier is having a consistent sleep schedule. And what this means is that we are going to bed at the same time every night and we're waking up at the same time every day. And the reason for this is because our bodies thrive off of that type of rhythm, that type of routine, our circadian rhythm actually specifically. So this might mean that you go to bed at 11 p.m. every night and you wake up at 7 a.m. And you try to stick to that, as opposed to going to bed at midnight one night and 10 p.m. one night, waking up at noon, waking up at 6 a.m. Like, you want to try and keep it really consistent. And if you do, you'll find that it's so much easier to fall asleep, but it's also a lot easier to wake up in the morning too. Our digestive organs actually have a clock of their own, a little internal clock. So if we are eating really close to bedtime, it's forcing our digestive organs to turn on and start digesting and processing food, and our insulin is being secreted and our blood sugar is going up and down. Kind of like through the night, our body is trying to digest food, whereas ideally, we should just be resting and our digestive organs should be quiet. If you've ever heard of intermittent fasting, which I have a whole video on, I'll leave a link to it below, a lot of times people will sleep a lot better if they just don't eat so close to bedtime. It doesn't mean you have to go to bed on a really empty stomach. You definitely don't want to be starving. A small snack is totally fine, but you just don't want to be having a huge meal or like a big, huge pizza at midnight, before you go to bed. Keep your room cool. So our bodies actually prefer it to be a little bit cooler when we sleep. Something just moved. It really scared me. Temperature of around 60 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, is ideal to try and aim for. So whether that's making use of air conditioning or opening up a window or turning on a fan or sticking your feet out from under the covers can help to cool you down a little bit. If you're not at the correct temperature, your body's going to be trying to regulate and it's going to keep you up. Avoid caffeine, or at least reduce it, especially if you are really sensitive to caffeine. And this is kind of a no-brainer. Caffeine is a nervous system stimulant and it can definitely keep you awake at night. So of course, if you're a coffee drinker or something like that, you want to keep those drinks to the morning and avoid them in the afternoon. And if you are really sensitive to caffeine, just kind of reducing your intake. This could even be from things like dark chocolate. I know that if I have chocolate, especially like a darker chocolate in the evening, I am awake. There are plenty of herbs that can help to ease you into kind of a sleepier state. Valerian and passion flower, these actually have a bit of sedative properties to them, but lemon balm and chamomile are wonderful too. Skullcap is another good one. And some of these are also really good for reducing stress too. When we are kind of warming up our body like that too, can be really good to help to promote some sleepiness. And speaking of warming up your body, the next tip I want to share here is taking a nice warm bath. Now, hopefully you have a bath and you're able to take a nice hot bath. I love taking baths. If you don't and you just have a shower, that'll work too. Really, it's the idea of warming up your muscles. Anytime I take a hot bath, I feel so relaxed and so sleepy afterwards and like just totally ready for bed. You can also add Epsom salts in there too to relax the muscles further, which has magnesium. Really, really good for relaxing the muscles. Which actually just reminded me of a tip that I almost did not share here, and that is taking magnesium. So magnesium is a mineral that you can take in supplement form that helps to act as a muscle relaxant. There's different forms of magnesium that you can take. Magnesium citrate is a good one, can help to reduce stress as well, and can really help with sleep. My next habit here is taking the time to properly wash your face, brush your teeth, floss even. I think sometimes we rush through these things. There have been many, many times where I have gone to bed back in the day with my makeup still on a Friday night. Yeah, and you don't sleep as well. Even this goes for having clean sheets. Do any of you guys out there find that, oh, your bed is just like 100 times more comfortable and cozy when you've got freshly clean sheets? Give them a good laundering and hop into bed and you're gonna feel really great. My next habit here is to do a 30-minute shutdown. And what this means is about 30 minutes or so before bed, you make sure that you are turning off your electronics. So you put your phone away, you close your laptop, you put that away, put your iPad away, turn off the TV. This is just telling your brain that it's time to start getting ready for bed. But not only that, it's that you are putting away all those things that produce that blue light that can definitely disrupt our sleep because it inhibits our melatonin production. We're gonna talk more about melatonin in a moment. Create a very calm atmosphere. So this can be through playing some soft music, but also things like lighting a couple of candles or dimming the lights. So there's actually a reason for this besides just it being a nice calm atmosphere. But when we have warm tones, dimmer lights, it really helps to kickstart kind of our brain kind of getting ready for bed, and that melatonin production can start to begin. If you look at the sky at night, depending on what the weather's like, you will often see those really warm oranges and pinks in the sky at sunset that actually that color that is emitted starts to kind of calm us and prepare us for sleep. Next up is to sleep in a dark room. So a very dark room. So the reason for this is because any amount of light can actually disrupt our body's ability to effectively produce melatonin, which is the sleepy hormone. So we want optimal melatonin secretion going on at night. Get some blackout curtains or just try to block out as much light as possible. Get a sleep mask if needed. And that is it for today's video. Hopefully you're doing a couple of these things, or there are a few that you're able to start to integrate into your routine and into your life. And let me know in the comments below if there's anything in particular that you do. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you all in my next video.